What up? What up? What up? After a delayed game by co-host Trey, we are live. What's up, dude?
We did have a delay of game, a little bit of a fantasy football conundrum here, but the league lives on, and so too does the 4th and 1 podcast. And as we kind of honestly come barreling right down out of the chute here, there's a couple of things that I think we need to get out of the way before we talk about them. But other than that, how are we feeling?
We're good, man. Let's just get right into it, man. What do you want to talk about?
I need us to start by sending out our condolences to the one and the only. No one died on the football team, but John Emery tore his ACL again, and that's a gut punch. That's crushing for the young man, a guy that's kind of gone through quite literally almost anything and everything that you could do as a college athlete, and we hope that he is having a speedy recovery, as he should be, either just about to or getting out of surgery here. Certainly not anything that you wanted to see. He was honestly the only back that LSU had that was showing signs of life. So prayers up to him. And as far as the medical red shirt, it's not that easy. There's kind of a backstory with that I'm not quite informed on enough to be able to speak on it. So we'll see what happens with that, and we'll trudge forward. But shout out to my boy John.
And I didn't want to put Get Up as his reaction to the injury news. It was just in support of the show. Number one fan, the Tiger Bat. Unfortunate break for LSU. I mean, really emerged as RB1 through that game alone. Obviously, we've got all the hypes surrounding Caleb Jackson, Josh Williams, and his leadership, and I think he emerged easily game one. Just didn't catch a break here. So unfortunate for him. Let's get into the big game of the week, which is SEC versus Big Ten. The Texas Longhorns, number 3, taking on Michigan. It's a 7.5-point spread, with Texas being the favorite. What are your thoughts after what you've seen in week 1 from both teams, and who do you think wins and who do you think covers? You're on mute.
Hand in the air on my body. I think Texas is going to win the game, man. And I'm not even going to try to hide the pick, make it dramatic. I think Texas is going to win. I wasn't overly impressed with what Michigan put forward. Not to say that I don't think that they're good, but I think right now, today, I think Michigan has a little bit ways to go. And if you remember, this show is a pretty big proponent of the Wolverines over the last couple of years, man. We were big believers in them. I've picked them over Ohio State for the last 3 years now, or I should say 2. I'm lying. I did not pick them 3 years ago. But for the last 2 years, they've been my Big Ten horse. And so I don't know. I was more impressed with Penn State and less impressed with Michigan. And that's just kind of how I've been here lately. And that's kind of how I think a lot of people feel. And just because I said that, watch them pull something out of their behinds, put the game in the mud, make it a rock fight, and win by 3 with, 95,000 drunk maize and blue in the stands.
I'm shout out to Big Doug 44, my boy Finesse. Texas by 14, he says, and be sure to hit the like button. Michigan wins this game.
Okay.
Michigan wins this game.
Okay.
My favorite bet of the weekend is Michigan covers. Plus 7.5 at home. Really like the under 42.5. I think this is going to be a dogfight. Maybe I've got 18-15, 21-18-ish. So I like the under. I like Michigan to cover. My favorite bet of the weekend.
What's the current line at, if you don't mind?
On the ESPN bet, 42.5 is the total at -110 each, and 7.5 towards Texas.
That's a weird.
Being the favorite,
I would have expected that to be more like 6.
Well,
7.5 seems a little bit high.
7.5 is a lot for a team playing at home, defending national champs. Didn't look their best week 1, but they didn't show their whole package. I mean, we felt like we saw Texas's whole season play out, their whole book, their whole offense play out in one half there. I mean, they looked very impressive, don't get me wrong, but Michigan's defense is probably one of the best in the country. And I think you're gonna see more of Alex Orji this game, who presents more of a run threat. They were running both him and Warren last and they really gave the majority of the snaps to Warren, and he wasn't that guy. Orji provides that threat. And you like what quarterback gets consistency coming like out every other drive? Like no quarterback ever does that. So and they could never get into a feel for the game. So give me Michigan. Don't kill me on the money line, but give me the 7.5 favorite bet of the weekend.
To be completely honest with you, dude, I think that line is weird. I don't love that line. I don't even remember what time of day it's been at. It's been a very weird week for me with just work. As you can see, I'm still in my work outfit. I literally had to bring this as a backup outfit, by the way, because I didn't wash clothes last night. And the only thing I had is like this little extra set of scrubs. And bro, it has been raining literally for 2 days now. And I literally just had to throw this on. I haven't even had a chance to like change and like get into mode here. You're obviously still in the work polo, but I mean it is pretty much, representative of what happened last week in a very somber black. But
All right.
I don't remember what
That's
time of day that game was at. So if you
11
remember,
o'clock. 11 o'clock in the big house.
jeez,
Let's move on. We're just gonna go quickly here. I mean, these are the big stories of the week. I mean, these are, in my opinion, the three best games of the weekend, right? Next game I like Tennessee, number 14, going on the road against NC State, ranked number 24. Tennessee looked very impressive week one, 69-3 against Chattanooga, and NC State did not look impressive. The scoreboard indicates it was a blowout, not really 38-21. But if you actually watch that game, they were losing in the first half of the majority. Forgot to address this. How do we feel Texas will stack against Georgia in over a month? We will get to that.
we will get to that when it happens, but we will preview. Don't worry.
Yeah. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this match? Do you think we have a new Heisman candidate in Tennessee's quarterback? I'm not even gonna try and Amaliva.
No,
Amaliva. Go
no.
on.
I don't. I'm not there yet on the Heisman. I think he's ultimate talented. I don't think that there's any doubt that he's got the it factor, but you've got to do more than play one game to be considered a Heisman candidate. I think that Tennessee all of a sudden just became somebody that wanted their name to get known by some of the people that were trying to, maybe pick a little bit extra old SEC West players as far as going to Atlanta. But Tennessee's actually got the horses that they've been saying, and it's the kind that Heupel likes, like the get you out in space, run. If they score, they score. If you score on us, you score on us. But we're finna come score back. And he's got all of the talent in the world. But after one game, I'm not quite there on the Heisman yet. I mean, if you want to throw $5 and say whatever, maybe take it. But what is he at? Like 20-1, or is it less than that now?
He definitely moved up, right? I mean, I think he was in the top 3 for odds. I think
top 3
or 4.
That's interesting.
I thought, maybe I could be wrong. Dylan Gabriel was still the favorite after like all the football ended.
I'm here to take all of that Oregon money that nobody wants.
He's 6 plus 1,200.
All of them people that don't want any of that Oregon stock, I'll take it. I'll take a sleepy game one against Idaho. Do your thing.
In this game, I like the feeling of getting 10 at home. NC State's not a push away team. They're ranked top 25 in the for a reason. Give me the points with 10. I think Tennessee ends up winning a very close one.
What's the over?
The over under is 60.5.
Take it.
You take the over.
Take it.
So I mean, NC State couldn't score but 38 against Western Carolina. So I mean, I get Tennessee put up 69, but I don't know. I'm going to lean towards the under. I'm not really a huge fan of it though. I like NC State in the points. Tennessee, I wouldn't anchor them in any parlays just because they are live to lose here. But give me NC State in the points. Would be a nice ranked win to help Tennessee's playoff chances. Yeah. I mean, this is a big test. This isn't no USC.
Dude,
And we're in week 2. I know. We're in week 2. Would be a huge win on the road. I think that's going to be a big win for them.
are you ready for the conversation? And sorry to do this right now. Are you ready for the conversation that not all the 10-2 teams that are in the Power Four are going to make it into the playoff? Are you ready for that conversation that maybe not even 10-2 is good enough to get you in?
I think 10-2 is fine.
I think there's going to be some.
I think 3 losses may if the situation fits.
Because remember, that was your prediction, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we're going to see some parity this year. I'm telling you. NIL is making things a lot more interesting. And you're on any given night, anyone's alive. Okay. So yeah, definitely not every 10-2 will get in. Okay, every 10-2 in the Power Four, right? I mean, like, how many teams go 10-2? 2 or 3? I mean,
you're gonna have,
if you're 10-2, you're probably playing.
Teams.
You're playing for a conference championship, and if you lose, you're out. So I mean, I don't see many unless your name's Liberty or.
It'll be interesting to see, man, because I'm telling you already the way that the SEC did this with their tiebreaker rules. That's why you're seeing so many 164-2 games. I'm telling you that there's going to be some lopsided stuff just in the event that it goes to total points for. Get ready for that.
It is.
Get ready.
Okay, I take it back. Not every. I agree. Not every 10-2 team's gonna get in, but you're going to see several 2-loss teams get in. That's all I'm saying.
Pardon. I tell you, who's not going to have 2 losses in Notre Dame because they. There's no way. I'm telling, dude. There's no. If they lose 2 games, it is because the entire team got like the flu for a month. Like that team is assured to get in. Which, by the way, and I tweeted this out earlier. Looking back over their game, bro, that defense is nasty.
Yeah, no, they definitely look good, but how much of that was Texas A&M? You know,
that defense is gross.
Okay,
that defense is like that. I can promise you that they are not regular.
Thoughts on the expanded playoffs? I mean, too early to tell right now, but we're having a conversation about 10-2 teams getting in, right? So I mean, I think that's good for the game, and like I said, NIL is making more parity happen, which is awesome. So it's wide open this year. The expanded playoffs, I think it's going to be great. I mean, you could have 11-1 Texas, 12-0 Georgia, and yes, I mean, next comment, which is this: no shot LSU goes 10-2. Obviously, you've got to get past Ole Miss, which is going to be a tough task. Not sure if they're going to do it, but yeah, I mean, going back to this, you're right. But I mean, I think 4 of those 5 get in, right?
You could say that this should be easier, right? Like you could say that this should be easier, but I'm telling you that the way that this is looking, some teams are better than we thought, some teams aren't. And I just have a very weird feeling that you're going to have like 14 or 15 different teams that are going to need to be in there, and it's going to open up the 16 team and then 16 to 18 and then 18 to 24 and then 24 to 32. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy P. Capra Parker. If he's watching or if you're watching this, definitely shout out to you. Trey, he's probably the best bowler I know. I know we both know Gregory Snee, but Parker Capra has that dog in him.
You have not seen what Wii bowling can get you in life, because I'm there, brother.
Trey, he in real life he would probably beat you by 200.
He would probably beat me by at least 200.
Anyway, shout out to him if he's watching. Let's get on. Here's an interesting game we can spend a minute or two on. Kansas State, number 17, going on the road to New Orleans, baby. Tulane, the Green Wave. Now, I bring this up because I feel like there's a good betting opportunity here. Another home dog +9 for Tulane. Tulane is a very solid team. Okay, last year, would they win the most in university history?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I mean, I think they won what 9 games.
Yep.
Um, coming off a big win, obviously they beat Southeastern, which is a local team in Louisiana, FCS, 52 nothing, looked great. But I mean, I still have questions about Kansas State. New quarterback starting for them, Avery Johnson, who, as you know, replaced the guy Will Howard, who's at Ohio State now. Thoughts? I mean, I just want to. I feel like just talking like bullshitting about this. I mean, I think Tulane's just a good cover spot here.
Tulane's not that bad of a spot. They've got players that kind of transferred in. And I'll give you one example is a player like Shaz Preston, a local Louisiana guy that kind of did the Alabama route, realized it really wasn't for him, and goes over to Tulane. I think when Willie left, it was, I don't know. I've been softer on them just because of that, but I think that they've still got the dogs in the house, man. Like anytime that there's a quick turnover like that, you've got players that wanted to stay. They like where they're at. They're living right. They've got a good little situation. And so I think if you were to make your hay, I would say that they'd probably be a decent cover. What's the total on the game?
I need to go back. I was checking out how Kansas State was performing against UT Martin. Looked okay. Let's see. 47.5, like the under. Another spot where I like it's going to be a competitive game.
I think I like the under there too.
Those tricky games. So just thought that was a good spot. I like Tulane and the points there. Let's get into probably the most exciting game of the weekend, if we're being honest. And that's Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes, traveling.
What's the line at now, by the way?
In the revenge match against Nebraska. What was the line you said?
Yeah, what's the line at currently?
Opened at a touchdown for Nebraska. Is still a touchdown. Public loves Colorado. What's all the hype about this Raiola guy?
Dylan Raiola.
Is he the next Patrick Mahomes? That's the comp we're seeing.
He has
walks like him, looks like him.
It's his thing. It's like his Halloween costume. He's been trying to become Patrick Mahomes. He's doing a pretty good job. Got all the talent in the world, but I don't know, man. I think Nebraska probably could win, but I don't know, man. I've seen everything I need to see about Travis Hunter, so you tell me, dude. I don't know.
Is Tulane a sleeper? Yes, Tulane is a sleeper. They've got to run the table though. No one loss. Got to have the table. They have the table. They're in.
So what's
Travis Hunter is him, dude. That dude's a freak. I think the best athlete in college football. I was heavy on Colorado last year on this game and last season, right? We had the win total, they ended up shocking the world. Got two of the best players in the country offensively. I don't buy the Nebraska hype. I'm taking the points here. I'm taking 7. I'm taking a touchdown with a team that might not win the game, but they're always live with that offense for a backdoor cover. Say they get down 2 touchdowns.
You know how many times they did that last year, bro?
Always live. Because they played every game like the scoreboard was closed. Because they would put up whatever they wanted on offense, right?
Of course.
So give me 7. I think Nebraska wins. I like the backdoor cover, dude. There's nothing wrong with a little backdoor.
They're gonna have to throw.
Of course they're gonna have to throw. Nebraska runs the ball. I mean, they played UTEP and had like 39 minutes of possession against them. But Colorado, although their defense gets flack, is better than UTEP. So, I mean, they're not going to hold the ball for 39 minutes against a team like Colorado. They're going to have to air it out, and we're going to see if the wannabe Patrick Mahomes is him. If he gets past Colorado, big win. Big win. So I think that's the most
LOL.
exciting matchup of the weekend. Obviously, the best in terms of quality will be Texas. Is another shout out I wanted to give uh before I move on to this next match I want to talk about is Ben and Elena, avid watchers of the show. So if you are watching this,
Thank you,
shout
guys.
out shout out to the two of you. Awesome people, great people. I don't know. And Ben, and I'm bringing up Ben because Ben was a part of this bet. Um, we lost like a 10-leg parlay last week because of one team, and we didn't look at any research on this team. We just saw this team was minus 400, and that's Rice. Okay, we're like, we just need to fill some teams up. Had like a 10 to win 400, something like that. Everything's going beautiful, and all we have left is Rice against Sam Houston State. And Sam Houston State dog walked
Of
Rice.
course.
The game wasn't even close. Okay.
Of course.
And for that reason, they're traveling to UCF this weekend and they're getting 21 and a half points against UCF and KJ Jefferson. Now, UCF put up 57 last week. Congratulations against New Hampshire. Who cares?
Didn't even know they had a football team, to be completely honest with you. And I don't mean any disrespect. I just didn't know.
Sam Houston is a damn quality team. I watched the highlights from that match. Rice was favored to beat them. Rice isn't bad within themselves. But Sam Houston State is giving me 3 touchdowns, or I'm getting 3 touchdowns with them. Hell yeah. Give me that. I think that's very live to be close. I just love that match. I don't know about you. Do you have anything that you're looking forward to that we haven't discussed?
So there was actually a couple of things that I wanted to bring up, and I honestly wanted to get I lost my notes here. Let's see if I can get this really back. I'm on actually a different computer than typical, so don't get mad at me. One second. Here we go. Just pay attention none to the fact that I don't have this up and disregard that vibration there. Okay, here we go. So what was your actual thoughts on what you think the unders and overs did this week?
I thought LSU was the perfect example of this. You're talking about totals, correct?
Yep.
For like the games, not for seasons. Okay. With the new clock rules, teams that can string together long possessions.
We talked about this in the first step back. Yes.
They are like those games are going to fly by. If you watch the LSU game, the under hit in the first quarter. Like LSU went on like a 12-play drive.
Sickening.
5-1.
It's sickening.
And there was 3 minutes left in the quarter already. So it's like obviously Vegas wasn't ready for it. I don't know statistically how overs and unders did, but like Iowa, what are you going to do with Iowa this year? Teams that like Navy, like teams that run the ball so much and string on these long possessions. You're going to see some overreactions in week 2, and they have to. They're still learning. Obviously, Vegas is Vegas, and they'll get it right. But I think there was a huge mistake. I can't believe I didn't even take the clock. I didn't even know about the clock into consideration. Obviously, I knew about the 2-minute timeout they want to quit. They had to freaking emphasize that a million times. It's not a 2-minute warning. But don't just overreact and go bet unders, right? The number has to make sense.
Dude, and also, too, another game that you didn't bring up, and I want to just make sure that we talk about this. The Boise State-Oregon game isn't a bad game. I'm not saying that the game is going to be like, it shouldn't be close. Like Oregon should wipe the floor with them. But Boise does some weird stuff, and they at least like to give it all that they've got. And it's a late game. It'll be like the last game that we're all watching. So don't sleep on that one. If you're in the realm of wanting to do something different and do something weird, don't sleep on that game. But as we've already covered a lot of the things that we wanted to talk about as far as, you know, the weekend and how everything went and where that standed and kind of obviously what happened with, you know, LSU. And I think They need to get their things together. I don't have anything else to say on that until we put it forward. But I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Good way to bow tie that one up, man. Check out our Twitter. We're gonna have our betting card. We didn't have it last week. Very overwhelming week with games, and there was just so much to bet on. So we'll have a little bit more controlled on that. So definitely give us a follow on there. Thanks to everyone that watched and tuned in, and thanks for who all that watched after the live stream. We will talk to you later.